the grim darkness of the far future, there lies an ancient terror, a relic from a time long forgotten, buried beneath the sands of a million worlds, biding their time until the stars align and their ancient purpose is rekindled. A race of immortal warriors awakening from their eons-long slumber to reclaim their dominion. Long before the rise of the Imperium, before the Eldar, and even the Old Ones, the Necron tier ruled the galaxy. Their mortal forms were frail and cursed with short, painful lives under a dying sun. In their desperation, they turned to the Catan, the star gods, who offered them the promise of immortality. But this gift came at a terrible price. The Necron tier traded their flesh for eternal metal bodies, becoming the Necrons, and in doing so, they sacrificed their souls to the Catan, who fed upon their life force. The Necrons are more than just mindless machines. Each Necron retains a vestige of their former self, a twisted echo of their once proud and bitter lives. Their leader, the Silent King, Sarek, realized the cost of their bargain too late. Betrayed by the Catan, who sought to enslave them, the Necrons waged a catastrophic war against their former gods. In a cataclysmic battle, the Necrons shattered the Catan into shards, imprisoning them in arcane devices to harness their power. But the damage was done, and the Necrons, weary from millennia of war, retreated into their tomb worlds to sleep and repair, awaiting the day they would rise again. Necron technology is far beyond that of any other race in the galaxy. Their weapons, such as the Gauss Flare, can strip away matter at a molecular level, disintegrating flesh and bone with terrifying ease. Their war machines, like the Monolith, are nearly indestructible and can teleport troops across vast distances. The Canoptech constructs, from the nimble scarabs to the massive tomb stalkers, maintain and defend the tomb worlds with relentless efficiency. Central to Necron society are the dynasties, ancient ruling houses that each control vast territories and armies. These dynasties are led by overlords and lords, powerful beings with a will of iron and a thirst for power. The Necron nobility is a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and ancient grudges, with each dynasty vying for supremacy. One of the most mysterious aspects of the Necrons is their mastery of the Dolmen Gates, ancient devices that allow them to traverse the webway, a network of interdimensional pathways once thought to be the sole domain of the Eldar. With this technology, the Necrons can strike anywhere in the galaxy with terrifying speed and precision. This ability has made them a dire threat to all other races, as no world is safe from their reach. The reawakening of the Necrons has not gone unnoticed. The galaxy's inhabitants have begun to encounter these ancient horrors, often with disastrous consequences. On the planet of Cronus, the Necron awakening led to a brutal conflict with the Imperium, the Tau, and the Eldar. Necron warriors emerged from their tombs, their soulless eyes glowing with an eerie light as they slaughtered all who stood in their way. Imperial guardsmen fell before the relentless advance of Necron immortals. Even in the vastness of space, ancient evils can lie dormant, waiting for the right moment to strike. As the Necrons awaken, their tomb worlds becoming active once more, the galaxy must brace itself for an onslaught of unimaginable scale and devastation. In the grim darkness of the far future, the Necrons rise once more to reclaim their lost empire. What have you heard about the Necrons? Is the galaxy's fate sealed? Share your wisdom in the comments below and contribute to the curation of this library. There is one species that stands out not for its brutality or ancient lineage, but for its vision of unity and progress. A young and ambitious race with a singular goal, the greater good. The Tau are a humanoid species originating from the eastern fringe of the galaxy. Unlike the barbaric Orks or the ancient Necrons, the Tau are relatively new to the galactic stage, having emerged as a significant power only in the last few millennia. Their rise to prominence is nothing short of miraculous, driven by their philosophy of the greater good, or Tauva. This ideology promotes unity, cooperation, and the advancement of all Tau for the collective benefit. The Tau society is a caste system divided into 5 distinct groups, each with its own role and responsibilities. The Fire caste are the warriors, known for their discipline and advanced combat tactics. The Earth caste are the builders and engineers, responsible for the technological marvels that power the Tau Empire. The Air caste are the pilots and messengers, maintaining the vast communication and transportation networks. The Water caste are the diplomats and traders, spreading the philosophy of the greater good across the stars. Finally, the Ethereal caste are the leaders, guiding the Tau with wisdom and vision. The rapid technological advancement of the Tau is unparalleled. In just a few thousand years, they have gone from primitive tribal societies to a highly advanced spacefaring civilization. Their weaponry and vehicles are a testament to their ingenuity. Tau battlesuits, piloted by the elite fire warriors, are among the most advanced in the galaxy. These mechanized suits, such as the XV-8 Crisis suit, offer unmatched mobility and firepower, allowing the Tau to engage their enemies with precision and devastating effect. The Tau Empire's expansion is driven by their desire to bring the greater good to all sentient beings. Unlike the Imperium of man, which seeks to dominate and subjugate, the Tau prefer to incorporate other species into their empire through diplomacy and mutual benefit. This inclusiveness, however, is not without its challenges. Not all species are willing to embrace the greater good, and the Tau have often found themselves in brutal conflicts to defend their ideals. One of the most notorious battles involving the Tau was the Damocles Gulf Crusade. The Imperium of Man, viewing the Tau expansion as a threat, launched a massive military campaign to crush the young empire. The Tau, though outnumbered and outgunned, fought with remarkable tenacity and strategy. They managed to hold back the Imperial forces, eventually leading to a stalemate. The Tau's commitment to the greater good is unwavering, but it is not without its darker aspects. The Ethereals, who lead the Tau, wield a mysterious influence over their people. It is said that their presence alone can inspire absolute loyalty and unity among the Tau. Some whisper that this control is more than just charismatic leadership, suggesting a deeper, more insidious form of manipulation. Yet despite these suspicions, the Ethereals remain the guiding light of the Tau Empire, steering their people towards an idealistic future. Among the countless threats in the galaxy, the Tau stand as a beacon of hope and progress. They are a young race with an ambitious vision, striving to bring unity and advancement to all. Maybe one day it won't be that way. In a galaxy full of perpetual horror, maybe it's just a matter of time. For now at least, the Tau offer a glimmer of a brighter future, driven by their unwavering belief in the greater good. Share your wisdom in the comments below and participate in the curation of this library. Amidst the stars where shadows dance and empires clash, a darkness stirs. A monstrous force from beyond the void, drifting like a malevolent specter, its presence foreboding and its hunger unyielding. Hive Fleet Leviathan, the largest and most devastating of the Tyranid swarms, is more than just a ravenous force of nature. They are the perfect predators, evolving endlessly to consume all life. But their true weapon is not their claws or their bioplasma. It is the shadow in the warp. Its existence is shrouded in mystery, its true horror unknown to many. Worlds tremble at its approach, their skies darkened by the writhing tendrils of bioships and the echoing silence of the shadow in the warp. The shadow's influence is profound. This psychic anomaly disrupts communication and drives entire worlds to madness before the fleet even arrives. Imperial astropaths experience visions of doom, their minds shattered by the psychic onslaught. Entire planets are plunged into chaos. Leaders unable to command, armies rendered ineffective. The Hive fleet's approach is felt long before it is seen. Its tendrils spreading across the galaxy like a cancer. Hive Fleet Leviathan is a harbinger of doom. One of the more terrifying abilities of the Tyranids is that of their genetic repository. This gene bank is a vast, ever-evolving library of genetic information, collected from every organism they consume. Each new conquest adds to this repository, granting the Tyranids the ability to adapt and evolve with nightmarish speed. When faced with a new threat, the hive mind draws upon this genetic wealth, engineering bioforms that are resistant to previously effective weapons and tactics. This rapid adaptation renders conventional strategies obsolete, as the Tyranids develop resistances to toxins, pathogens, and even advanced energy weaponry with alarming efficiency. The gene bank is a testament to the Tyranids' relentless pursuit of perfection, allowing them to overcome any obstacle and ensuring their continued dominance in their unending quest to consume all life. Unlike previous Tyranid fleets, Behemoth and Kraken, Leviathan's strategy is insidious and multifaceted. Behemoth was a brute force crashing against Ultramar's defenses in a tidal wave of bioforms. Kraken was a serpent, striking in multiple fronts with devastating speed and cunning. But Leviathan is the lurking beast beneath the surface, its approach silent, its strike inevitable. Leviathan emerged from the galactic south, a direction from which no previous Tyranid fleet had come. This unexpected vector of attack caught the Imperium off guard, its worlds ill-prepared for the onslaught. The fleet's sheer scale dwarfed its predecessors, each bioship a floating hive of horrors. Every tendril of Leviathan was a fleet in its own right, capable of overwhelming star systems with ease. The Imperial response was swift but costly. Worlds burned as Hive Fleet Leviathan advanced. The might of the Astra Militarum, the Astartes, and the Adeptus Mechanicus were mobilized, but even they struggled to stem the tide. Battles were fought in the cold void of space and on desolate worlds, each victory Pyrrhic, each loss devastating. Yet the true terror of Leviathan lies not in its strength alone, but in its ability to adapt, to learn from every encounter, and evolve into a more perfect instrument of annihilation. Remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, fear is a weapon, and Hive Fleet Leviathan wields it with terrifying precision. Subscribe and join me in the curation of this library. In the crucible of endless war and galactic conquest. At the heart of the Imperium lies Holy Terra, the cradle of humanity and the seat of the Emperor's power. The Emperor, an immortal and near-divine figure, sits immobile upon the Golden Throne, a life support system that sustains his shattered body, while his mind projects the Astronomicon, a psychic lighthouse guiding the Imperium's vast fleets through the treacherous warp. Without the Emperor's light, the Imperium would be lost. The Adeptus Terra, or the Priesthood of Earth, administers the Imperium's colossal bureaucracy, ensuring that the Emperor's will is enacted across the stars. The Imperium is a dystopian theocracy, where billions toil under the watchful gaze of the Adeptus Arbites, the enforcers of Imperial law. Defending the Imperium is the vast might of the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines. These superhuman warriors, forged through genetic engineering and rigorous training, are the Emperor's angels of death. Clad in power armor and wielding devastating weapons, they strike fear into the hearts of the Imperium's enemies. Each Space Marine is a living weapon, capable of feats of strength and endurance that border on the miraculous. Their loyalty to the Emperor is absolute, and they are relentless in their pursuit of victory. The Astra Militarum, or the Imperial Guard, forms the bulk of the Imperium's military might. Numbering in the trillions, these soldiers are the hammer of the Emperor, tasked with holding the line against the countless threats that assail humanity. From the frozen wastes of Valhalla to the toxic jungles of Katashan, the Imperial Guard fights on every front, their ranks bolstered by colossal war machines like the Baneblade tank and the titanic Imperial Knights. They are the embodiment of human resilience and courage, willing to lay down their lives in service to the Imperium. Yet the Imperium's strength is constantly tested by the myriad horrors of the galaxy. The Orks, a barbaric and warlike species, launch endless campaigns, their green tide sweeping across worlds in a frenzy of violence. The Tyranids, an extragalactic swarm of bioengineered monstrosities, consume entire planets, leaving only dead husks in their wake. The ancient Necrons, awoken from their millennia-long slumber, seek to reclaim their lost dominion, their soulless legions marching with cold precision. Despite these relentless foes, the Imperium endures. It is a realm of iron will and unbreakable faith. The Imperium of Man is a testament to humanity's capacity for both greatness and horror. It is a civilization built on the bones of countless sacrifices, sustained by the blood of its defenders and the faith of its people. In the face of unending darkness, it is a beacon of hope and defiance. But the price of survival is steep, and the battle for the galaxy's future is far from over. Remember, in this vast and hostile universe, there is no room for weakness. The Emperor's light guides us, but it is our duty to fight, to protect, and to conquer for the Imperium, for humanity, for the Emperor. What do you think is the greatest strength of the Imperium of Man? Share your wisdom in the comments below and participate in the curation of this library. In the endless tapestry of the 41st millennium, amidst the ceaseless wars and cosmic horrors, lies a race both ancient and enigmatic. These beings are a paradox of grace and devastation, masters of both arcane knowledge and martial prowess. A race whose history is as long and complex as the galaxy itself. The Eldar, or Eldari as they were once known, are an ancient and sophisticated race. They were among the first species to rise to prominence in the galaxy, their civilization reaching unparalleled heights of technological and psychic mastery long before humanity took its first steps into the void. At the height of their power, the Eldar were unparalleled, their empire spanning countless worlds, and their mastery over the warp unmatched. But with great power came great hubris. The Eldar fell into decadence, their society succumbing to excess and hedonism. This decline culminated in a cataclysmic event known as the Fall, when their unchecked indulgence gave birth to the chaos god Slanesh. In one apocalyptic moment, the core of their empire was consumed by the new god's insatiable hunger, their souls devoured, their worlds obliterated. The psychic scream of their demise echoed through the warp, leaving an indelible scar on the fabric of reality. The survivors of this cataclysm were scattered across the galaxy. They now exist as a fractured people, each faction struggling to preserve their way of life amidst the ruins of their once great civilization. The craft world Eldar, the most numerous of the surviving factions, dwell in colossal, continent-sized spacecraft known as craft worlds. These floating sanctuaries are marvels of arcane engineering, each a self-sustaining world, housing millions of Eldar and preserving the remnants of their ancient culture. Among the craft world Eldar, every individual walks the path, a rigidly structured way of life designed to protect them from the excesses that led to their downfall. Their technology is a blend of elegance and lethality. Wraithbone, a psychically responsive material, forms the backbone of their architecture and weaponry. This substance can be shaped and animated by the Eldar's psychic abilities, allowing them to create structures of breathtaking beauty and weapons of deadly precision. The Wraith Guard and Wraith Lords, towering constructs animated by the souls of fallen warriors, are among the most formidable of their creations. Silent sentinels wielding devastating power on the battlefield. Yet, the craft world Eldar are but one shard of their fractured race. The Exodites chose a different path, fleeing to distant, untamed worlds to live in harmony with nature, eschewing the advanced technology of their kin. The Harlequins, the enigmatic followers of Segarak, the Laughing God, are another splinter of the Eldar race. These masked warriors are both performers and deadly combatants, their every move a blend of artistry and lethality. They travel the webway, an ancient network of tunnels through the warp, appearing without warning to strike at their enemies or to enact elaborate performances that retell the myths and history of their people. Then there are the Drukhari, or Dark Eldar, who dwell in the twisted city of Komara within the webway. These Eldar have embraced cruelty and suffering, sustaining themselves on the pain and anguish of others to stave off the predations of Slaanesh. Their raids are swift and brutal, leaving nothing but desolation and despair in their wake. They are the dark mirror of their craft world kin, their souls tainted by their insatiable appetites. The Eldar possess a deep and intricate understanding of the warp, a dimension of pure psychic energy that mirrors and influences the material universe. This mastery comes at a great cost, as every use of their psychic powers draws the attention of Slaanesh, ever eager to claim their souls. The Eldar's place in the galaxy is a precarious one. They are a dying race, their numbers dwindling with each passing century. What do you think is the most intriguing aspect of the Eldar? Share your wisdom in the comments below and participate in the curation of this library. In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, where the galaxy teeters on the brink of annihilation, there exists a primordial and malevolent force that threatens to engulf all of creation in an unending nightmare. Manifestations of the raw, chaotic energies of the warp. The Chaos Demons are not beings of flesh and bone, but rather entities born from the psychic energies of the warp, a parallel dimension of pure emotion and thought. They are the embodiment of the darkest aspects of sentient minds, given form by the insatiable desires and fears of all living beings. Each demon is a piece of the Chaos God's will made manifest, an extension of their unholy power and ambition. At the heart of chaos lie the four great gods: Khorne, the Blood God; Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways; Nurgle, the Plague Father; and Slaanesh, the Dark Prince of Excess. Each of these gods embodies a different aspect of chaos and corruption, and their demons reflect their twisted natures. Khorne, the Blood God, revels in violence and slaughter. His demons are fierce and relentless warriors, driven by an insatiable thirst for blood. The Bloodletters, his foot soldiers, are savage creatures wielding cruel blades, while the mighty bloodthirsters, towering behemoths of muscle and rage, lead his armies with unparalleled ferocity. In battle, they tear through enemy lines, their roars echoing like thunder as they rip and cleave their foes apart. Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways, embodies deceit, manipulation, and arcane knowledge. His demons are ever shifting, their forms as mutable as the schemes of their master. The horrors of Tzeentch are swirling masses of magic and malevolence, their bodies constantly morphing and splitting into new entities. The Lords of Change, his greater demons, are sorcerous beings of immense power, their minds labyrinthine webs of plots and secrets. They wield the raw energies of the warp, unleashing devastating spells that twist reality itself. Nurgle, the Plague Father, is the god of decay, disease, and despair. His demons are grotesque and bloated, their bodies riddled with the rot and pestilence of their creator. The Plague Bearers, Nurgle's foot soldiers, spread corruption with every step, their touch bringing disease and death. The Great Unclean Ones, his greater demons, are massive, festering horrors, their putrid flesh teeming with the foulness of countless plagues. They lumber through battlefields, their presence alone enough to bring entire armies to their knees with sickness and despair. Slaanesh, the Dark Prince of Excess, embodies hedonism, pleasure, and the pursuit of perfection. His demons are both alluring and deadly, their beauty masking a lethal intent. The Demonettes, Slaanesh's foot soldiers, are graceful and seductive, their every move a deadly dance. The Keepers of Secrets, his greater demons, are towering embodiments of temptation and excess, their allure irresistible, their claws deadly sharp. They delight in the agony and ecstasy of their victims, drawing strength from the heights of pleasure and the depths of pain. The demons of chaos are not mere mindless beasts. They are cunning and malevolent, their actions driven by the insidious will of their gods. They seek to corrupt the material universe, to spread their influence and draw mortals into the service of chaos. As long as there are sentient beings to dream and fear, the demons of chaos will remain an eternal blight on the fabric of existence. Which of the chaos gods do you think is superior? Share your Warhammer wisdom in the comments and participate in the curation of this library.